serious problems.
Mika, fucking back on the podcast, mate. Back on the podcast. What's your serious problem, mate?
I have a lot of serious problems, but I tell you what's not a serious problem. It's like, Jimmy, I missed you. I missed the podcast. I missed you. And I'm gonna dive straight into my biggest serious problem of all. Muzzy did such a good job being a host on the podcast. I'm kind of like these are big shoes to fill now.
Yeah, I was kind of. I called you the other day, and I was like, "Fuck, I don't know if we can get Muzzy on the podcast again, because otherwise he's just gonna fucking steal our jobs." He was actually
unreal.
Yeah, but it was nice to have him fill your boots for Tour de Ski. But yeah, it's nice to have you back as well.
But then I'll dive straight into my second serious problem. Watching the Tour de Ski on television was more fun when I was like 14-year-old and not aiming to race the Tour de Ski in that year.
Yeah.
Because watching the Tour de Ski on television and then you see everybody doing fucking well and you're just sitting at home and you're hating life. I wouldn't advise it to anybody to
especially like the Austrian team has been doing so well, actually.
Unreal. It's wild. It's like I was totally mind blown.
Yeah.
I mean, you start off with a podium of Teresa. That's fucking exciting. At the same time, she is Teresa Stadlober. She's like a fucking great skier and she's done many podiums before. So then you're like, yeah, good, great. And then you see Benji Moser coming in 11th in a distance race in an individual start, and you're like, oh,
yeah.
Well, that's quite good. He doesn't really seem to be so much of a sprinter anymore these days. And then you see Teresa coming in with a second podium, and then you're like, oh, well, or actually that's before Teresa comes in with a second podium. Benji Moser does a podium in the 5K heat mass start.
Yeah, that was
now
crazy.
He does claim that he have a distance podium. I did say he definitely has a sprint podium because 5K heat mass start definitely does not count as distance, even if the FIS points say otherwise.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And then Teresa does another podium, and I'm just like, oh, like, man, I've just went from everything's going well, and you're like this good skier into like absolute like unseeable, like I don't even know what's the word for it, irrelevant.
Yeah.
Just went straight into irrelevancy. Then Muzzy comes on the podcast, does such a good job. You have like all these fucking baller guests on. You have Moa Elar, who was actually a fucking good guest. I listened to all the pods. She was quite exciting to listen to. Then you get the Tour de Ski's OG, Tobias Angerer, who actually, when I heard that we were going to do a pod with him, I was so excited. So that was a bit tough to listen to. And then you get Dario on, and I'm like, come on. I was like, fuck off. I was like, now this is just getting ridiculous. So then I think, okay, but now it's like the last sprint in Val di Fiemme, and I don't know. I'm guessing Benji might be a bit tired, so maybe he's not going to make me feel as bad on that sprint. That actually worked out for me. Day after, I'm like, Benji, maybe you can be top 15. I sent him like some tips on what he's doing. Goes up, does a top 10. I'm like, what?
That's crazy, actually.
How? Like, the guy even did like the 20th time up Alp Chermies. But then I'm like, okay, fucking good, fucking legend, happy for him. I'm like, at least it's going to be easier watching the women's race now because, like, historically, Teresa has not been doing so well up the last hill. And then she comes up, like, to the first intermediate, and she's, like, 24 seconds behind, and I was like, oh, come on, you can do a bit better than this, come on. And then instead of doing a bit better than this, all of a sudden she was almost at the front again, comes in 4th on top of Alp Chermies, and does a second place in the Tour de Ski, and I'm like, yep, this is called irrelevancy now for me.
Yeah.
Unreal, they were so good.
They didn't miss you.
No, they did definitely not miss me. Kudos, kudos to them.
I think
I was
Is it the MVP team of Tour de Ski?
I think they'll just claim that. I think they can just.
Yeah.
I don't think there's.
And so
Let me think now. No, there's definitely no team with a comparable standing before the tour versus after the tour.
yeah, and what's actually wild is that everybody knows that we talked about this on the podcast, but Austria's got only 3 quotas Olympics, and like for a team that's capable of like results like that, I find that absolutely shocking.
Tell you what, we have on the men's side, we now have 2 podiums so far this season. A top 10 in the Tour de Ski. We've had, let me think. I think we've had, so me, Benji, Eric Engel, Mirko Föttinger. We've had 5 top 30s on World Cup so far.
Yeah.
And there's only 3 people that are going to go to the Olympics. We're not going to be able to get a relay. I don't know.
But I think maybe it's quite important to have people from like Kenya and Iran and Saudi Arabia to go though.
See, Jimmy, why are you doing this?
Just baiting you, mate. Baiting you. Nah, but
you're just luring me into say ridiculous shit now.
But I don't know if I got world record for me in terms of how long I spent in the media zone after the sprint, because I had a bit of a tango with a Swiss skier on the last corner, so that was like everybody was asking me a little bit about that. But the main thing that everybody was asking me about was because on the podcast with Moa Ilar, we talked about basically the problem of the quotas this year and how it's only 3 quotas for Great Britain and for Austria. And honestly, like you and Muzzy are like 2 of the competitors that are fighting against the Norwegians. Like you're quite often first non-Norwegians, or definitely first non-Scandinavians very often. And like the fact that we have only 3 quotas Olympics, Austria and GB, is absolutely shocking.
It's ridiculous.
So and then the reason for that is because all of these small nations have unlocked quotas. So then just find it a bit sad that like we break our legs trying to race World Cup season after season. Like Austria's doing quite good financially, I think, but GB is always struggling financially. So it's tough to see that they prioritize these countries over us. And
it's also a bit unfair, I think, because I mean I get this whole Olympic spirit thing where like competing means everything, but at the same time the Olympics are by far the biggest thing in our sport.
Yeah.
Like we work hard for this, and not just we, but like most of the people behind us as well. And they actually not only work hard, but they do really well. They do really good.
Yeah.
And then, to see only as of now 10 countries that are going to be able to have a relay in the Olympics, then I'm like, what's the whole point of having like the Olympic spirit and then you have 10 relays in the Olympics, but therefore you'll get a guy from Saudi Arabia or whatever country where they've never ever had snow ever. But yeah, oh no, there's this dude from Norway, but by chance he's got like a second passport and he has skied when he was 7 years old. So you know what, he'll just go to Olympics as well, even though he's like 47 and has like a full-time job, but he just thought, oh, it might be fun to go to the Olympics.
But I think I don't blame, like, so that we're clear, I think you also don't blame the athletes doing it. They see
it's not their athletes' fault. It's a system that benefits participation over performance.
I think it's nice to have like, okay, 5-6 stories like that. But right now there's 66 nations that are qualified for Olympics.
What do we have on an average World Cup between like 18 and 20, 22 nations maybe?
Yeah, like honestly, there's like 15 nations that, okay, there's maybe 20 nations that compete like for real. And that includes like Andorra, Ireland, like countries that have only 1 skier per gender. So yeah,
I think it would be I think it actually would be fair. Your country doesn't regularly compete on World Cup. You should have no Olympic quota.
yeah.
Simple as that.
Just as a comparison, biathlon, they have 50 less quotas than us, or 45 quotas less than us, I think. And they have 4 quotas for the top 20. Every
Yeah.
country in the top 20 has 4 quotas. And Austria was 11th, and UK was 12th, and we have only 3 quotas. And for
But I
women,
think also
and
people maybe
something else interesting is for women, all top 20 have 4 quotas, and most likely every single country in the top 10 will have 7 quotas.
Yeah, and this is like I was just discussing with I'm on a training camp here, Passolavce now, and I don't know when we're gonna release this, but today the Norwegian Ski Federation or Olympic Committee rather, they announced like a second update on who's on the team for the Olympics, and so they put on Matti Stenshagen, and there was like a big drama about Iversen not being picked, which I actually support. I think Iversen, with the results he has now, he should definitely be picked. But then there's like an 8 spot still, and both me and Alvar are very certain actually there's gonna be at least one Norwegian that'll not get to race at the Olympics.
Will be there, but doesn't get.
Because they'll get 8 quotas, but they can only put up 4 people per discipline. And then just for the people saying, "Oh yeah, but everybody will get a chance." No, not everybody will get a chance, because with Johannes Oslo-Klæbo, like if everything goes normal, he will have a spot for every single race, even for the skate 10K. If everything goes normal, because you'd be a fucking imbecile to not put up Johannes Oslo-Klæbo.
Yeah.
So that means there's like 3 spots left
Yeah.
per distance, and then it's like, good luck filtering 3 people out of those 7. And then there's going to be a big chance that Niengat's going to race pretty much everything but the sprints. Amundsen's going to race pretty much everything but the sprints. So then you have 1 spot left. Now, that's K10K. That's going to go to Hedegaard. So there's a good chance that one of the Norwegians who has a quota, who has a spot to go to the Olympics, will not get to race a single distance.
Yeah, that's possible.
And then I'm like, okay, but why do you give 8 quotas then?
That is very true. I was wondering where you were coming at, but like that is a super good point. Yeah, that's true.
Like if you're sending people to the Olympic Games, they're not gonna race, then just give those quotas to nations where you know the people will race, and also countries will benefit from it because they will get a relay. And by having countries doing a relay, not only will the ski federations and the countries benefit from it, but cross-country skiing as a sport will benefit from it, because who wants to watch a fucking sport with 10 teams at the relay in the Olympics?
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is.
But that's just my uneducated opinion.
Uneducated, or very biased at least.
It's definitely biased. It's not unbiased, my opinion, but
yeah. But I've had so there was quite a few articles written like of this rant I had, and I've talked to lots of people that were like, yeah, mate, I really agree with what you said in the media, and I think most people agree, and honestly, I think maybe even Fizz agrees, but they didn't see it coming, and honestly, it's their responsibility to see it coming. So
yeah, but I think, I don't know, maybe just to round this up, then why things are the way they are now. Have we said this on the podcast? I don't think we have, but obviously every Olympic sport is fighting for its spot at the Olympics. You see it with Nordic combined now. They'll most likely be at their last ever Olympics. There's a fair chance for that, which is a fucking tragedy because they were there from the start. It was like Nordic combined was at the first ever Winter Olympics. So it's like, yeah, you know what? They're discussing about cyclocross becoming a winter Olympic sport now, but we'll get rid of Nordic combined. Like, come on. But so every sport is, a bit defensive about their spot. And then for some reason or another, cross-country skiing became this one sport that people, like we just said, from far away stand. If somebody really wants to become an Olympian, they'll try in cross-country skiing because that's where they'll most likely succeed. And
Yeah.
That's kind of the USP for cross-country skiing in the Olympics now, and that's what IOC wants to push towards as well. That's why they get like all the quotas for these exotic countries. But yeah, in my utter uneducated opinion, they're just shooting quite far past the goal here.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe they'll get rid of, after seeing there's only 10 nations, maybe they'll get rid of gender-specific relay and then suddenly put a mixed relay. I would not be so surprised.
I'm stated here right now. Please, IOC, get in mixed relays. Do either a mixed team sprint or a mixed relay. And I'm going to tell you why. Not just because there will be many more countries that will be able to have a relay or a team sprint, but also because I think that's a way you'll actually get competition. The men's relay in cross-country skiing, mate, we're going to watch Norway attack from the first leg and then they'll ski solo for 3 legs and then that's about it. It's like, and everybody's going to sit at home and say, oh yeah, cross-country skiing's dying. Yeah, but we're letting it die. If you'll do a mixed relay at the Olympics, I'll tell you what, Norway's not going to ski solo for 3 legs.
Yeah, that's true.
100% not.
They might still win though, but...
They might still win, but
They will
having the
probably
best
win.
ones win is not a problem, but there'll be a fight for the win.
Yeah, it'll be more of a fight for sure, yeah. But the thing is, you cannot, or if it was taking out the relay, the gender-specific relay, you'd have to replace with one thing, and it's 2 events. So it's women and men. So if you have a mixed relay, then you have one more event. So you can replace
Jamie.
with a mixed team sprint as well.
Jamie,
Yeah.
I know it.
Say it.
We'll get K heat mass starts to be Olympic.
Yeah, perfect, mate. Mixed okay, heat mass start.
We'll do a mixed relay and a 5K heat mass start instead of gender-specific relays. You know what? I think we might have just saved cross-country skiing, Jamie.
Yeah, mate. You joking saying that, but like I was in a meeting to discuss one of the races that is coming up, and not so sure about if the format is gonna have to change or whatever. And someone suggested we could always switch it to 5K heat mass start.
You know what? I think
And he was
we
serious.
should-
Everyone was serious, and it was maybe that's one of the options.
Let's hop into 5K heat mass starts here right now. We have one guy in here that's done fucking well in the 5K heat master. Jamie, best World Cup result ever. Congratulations.
Thanks,
fucking
mate. Thanks,
good
mate.
work. And then we have one guy that watched on the television, and both of the guys are 2 of the guys that are being most negative about 5K heat mass starts before.
Oh, mate, I think 5K heat mass start's great.
Yeah, because you've done it.
So it was so good. I think it was super fair, and I don't see a problem with it. It was great to watch
But
on TV. Like I would have definitely beaten Klæbo in 5K.
You just mentioned the word here, which I want to get out of the way, talking about fair. Actually, it was fair. There was nothing unfair about it because the conditions were pretty much the same
Yeah.
all the race, and it was the same race format for everybody. So working together counted for everybody. So we cannot say that it was unfair. We should talk about justified. I think it was a bit unjustified, talking from a sports standpoint of view. And I'm going to say why. I think Niilo Moilanen is a great guy. I have not seen Niilo Moilanen a single time in the whole race. And I've seen Johannes Klæbo hammering it down for like 60% of his heat, 70% of his heat. And then I watched the result list, and Niilo Moilanen was ahead of Johannes Klæbo.
Yeah.
And that's why I say justified. I don't think that's very justified.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a weird race because it's a team race. Like
It's
each
a team
heat,
race without teams.
Exactly. Each heat is a team and has to work together to get a good result. And that's exactly what happened with my heat. We were on paper, we were the worst heat. Like when I saw
Also, to give some context to the listeners, I think on the men's race, number 1 until number 8, 7 or 8 was from heat number 2.
Yeah. But for those who did not even watch the race, we can quickly say how it worked. Basically, it's 4 heats, and it's a mass start. So whoever crosses the line first doesn't necessarily get the best result of the race. It's the time that you get on the race that matters. So if you're 4th in your heat, you can be 20th or you can be 4th. And what happened is that top 8, maybe it was a bit less, in heat 2 were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the rest, I don't know who was 9th, maybe Clabo and so on. There was different heats.
No, Klabo was 12th, I think, even.
Okay, yeah.
I think Jordan Ray was the first from another heat.
But to see, like, everyone in my heat, or like everyone that was top 4, we all worked at one point at the front. Maybe except Lapalus. Not Lapalus, Chapaz. But like
And
everyone...
Moilanen.
Moilanen was...
I
8,
did not
7.
see Moilanen a
Yeah,
single
he
time
was
during the
not
whole
top
race.
top 6. But top 5, there was at least 4 of us working. We all did at least a turn at the front. And the guys like Gus Schumacher, Benny Moser, and Lars Hagen, they all worked hard together. And even though we were one of the worst heats on paper, we managed to be best. And the mistake that Clabo and Pellegrino and so on did is that they didn't work together. They didn't work enough together.
I want to say some nice words about our favorite Italian of the show, Kiko Pellegrino. I don't know if he understood the concept of like this whole race, but I just saw him being at the front for like 7.4 seconds, and then on the top of the climb, I just see him turn back, and that's when the camera went away. And then you just saw on the live timing how much they lost after that. So that just meaning like they went to the top and then everybody stopped to ski. Like there's no other explanation for it.
Yeah.
So I was like, did you guys understand the concept of this whole race? But to be honest, like, and I tell you why I think from a sports standpoint of view, from a sports perspective, this race should not happen. If you're in a heat with Clabo, like in a heat with you guys, like for you, for Benny Moser, for Chapaz, for Gus, for all of them guys, be in top 10, top 5, even if I would have been in there, be in top 5, top 10 is an achievement. We're all happy with that, and we're all willing to work for a good result. But then you get a heat with Clabo, Stenshagen, and Pellegrino in there. I don't know who else was in there. So you get at least 3 people that know what it feels like to win a race. And they know exactly, if we're going to go fast and we're going to work together, there's going to be a finish sprint, and Johannes is going to beat us, and he is going to win a World Cup. That's when egos come into the play. It's true. If Clabo would have been in your heat, Clabo would have won that race. If Clabo would have been yes, necessarily, maybe, because if he would have worked with you, then he would have sprinted past you. He would have not worked with you. If he would have not worked with your heat and everybody would have worked together, then he would have sprinted past you. Like, if the fastest heat is with Johannes Clabo, he will win that race. And therefore, if you get people in there that also want to win the race, they're not going to work with Clabo, because working with Clabo, it's a losing game. It's a lost battle. Like, yeah. That's just what skiing is. And that, I think, is unjustified. Not only for Clabo, but also for all the others in that heat. That's my take.
Yeah, go for it.
I was just going to say that's my take from a sports standpoint of view. From a entertaining standpoint of view, I was really negative about it before. I might have been slightly wrong, because I'm not going to lie, it was slightly entertaining.
Yeah.
I think the TV production wasn't good. I don't think they did a super good job on that. I think they can be much better and clearer, especially with the live timings. But there was somewhat of a entertainment factor in there, because you just didn't know what was gonna happen. But then I thought to myself, if I want to watch a race where I don't want to know what happens, I'll watch biathlon.
I knew this was coming.
Yeah, but it's true.
But
I don't know why.
The strength for biathlon is that things can change like at any minute.
Yeah, that is true. Also, my brother's coming in here right now. I got this idea on how to make 5K heat mass starts more entertaining and better on a sports standpoint of view. Make 5 heats, but don't start every 15 minutes. Just do one 5K lap. Start every 5th minute. So there's action for 25 or 30 minutes on the course. If you start 5 minutes behind another heat, you're not going to catch anybody. It's impossible. And then, so first you do the women's, then you do that with the men. The winner of every heat qualifies for a final heat, and the 4 best times of every heat qualify for a final heat, because then there's an incentive to first of all win your heat, but also there's an incentive to go fast. The final heat, I don't know, you just give 30 bonus seconds to the last one. It's like 20 people in that heat, then you give 30 bonus seconds to the last one and 60 or 90 to the first one, because they have to do another race, so they spend more energy, but also they get rewarded in time or bonus seconds compared to the people that are not having to do the final heat.
Yeah, I think it's kind of cool, but I think the main problem with that is that people or TVs will not show the rounds, like the, I don't know, semi-final you'd call it.
If you do it like super tight to each other, like you have 25 minutes of action for the women's heats, 25 minutes of action for the men's heats, and that means that like 3 minutes after the final women's preheat, it's the men's final, and 3 minutes after that, it's the women's, or like the other way around, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It's tough, it's hard to do it, it costs, but you get benefited in time or money or whatever, so there should be a benefit for these 20 people that get to race.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like now it's kind of, if you want me to, you know what, I'll just throw in a good old ridiculous Mika take. Watching heats without a final and then just make the result list of the best times is like watching a porn without jerking off. It just doesn't make sense.
That was a good one. That was a good take. I know that's it doesn't quite make it for you. Right, my take on someone who actually raced it. Honestly, it was fucking cool to race. Like, it was a fun race, like 5K, like in small sort of groups, so small mass start. Like, you have to place yourself good, you have to see when people get tired, and people get really fucking tired.
Can I stop you 1 second and ask you a question?
Yeah.
If I'd ask somebody of like heat 1, heat 3, or heat 4, you reckon they would also say, oh, it was a fun race?
I think they'd say it was fun. Like, when I finished, I was like, oh, okay, I'm like fifth in my heat. Like, well, it was cool. Like, I'm happy I get an okay result, probably. I never thought I'd be fifth in the race. But then, because I even said to the media, oh yeah, maybe I'll finish like 70th. But it was fun race. Like, it was a cool race. And I think they should build on that. Like you said, it was entertaining to watch. I think they should build on that for like that distance at least, and continue into something. I agree, there needs to be a final, because like I was at the flower ceremony and I was a bit like, do I really deserve this?
You
like
definitely do deserve it, because you guys were the only ones understanding it. Also, I did hear the rumor coming from nobody less than Benji Moser, that there's one MVP of that race, and that MVP is called Gus Schumacher, because apparently he was dictating your whole heat.
Yeah, he was like, oh yeah, like told me like just go to the front. Like, okay, yeah.
If Gus says you go to the front, you go to the front.
Yeah, no, he for sure deserved to win that race.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
But it's just like, it feels like, or at least Jules Chapaz was saying, like, he didn't do 1 second at the front, and he felt a bit like it didn't quite count as a 4th place. But anyway, a final would be amazing. What else has happened at Tour de Ski, mate?
I want to say one more thing to round up the whole 5K heat master topic, because obviously of the whole Tour de Ski, the 5K heat master was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, the rest of the Tour de Ski this year was rather mild than spicy.
Yeah.
You said you like the idea, we should build on the format of 5 kilometers, and then build on those kind of distances. I agree. Anytime you get a 3.3 prologue 5K race or something, it's fast, it's quick, it's like super tight as well, and it's exciting. I think they should build on that. And there comes a but. But if you start to build on more shorter races, you also have to build on the other side.
Yeah.
That means we also need longer races. Because right now, what was the Tour de Ski? 48 kilometers this year?
I think it was a bit more in the end, like closer to 60, I think, because there was a 20k in there.
Yeah, so you had 20k, then you had a 10k, then you have 30, then you have a 5k heat map, or another 10k, then you have
It was two 10k.
40k, then you get a 5k heat master, then you have 45k, and then you get, for most people, 2 sprint prologues, 1.5k, you get 48 kilometers of racing.
Yeah, 55 if you're Clabo.
55 if you're Clabo, yeah. I think it's good to have one side of the spectrum, but also get in the other side of the spectrum.
Milan Cortina.
Doing EK on the course in Toblach is just utter nonsense. It's rather flat. There's not really any like hard hills that are in the course like back to back to back. It's like you climb once and then there's like this one semi-flattish climb, and then like you're not gonna get dropped after that anymore. Not in a mass start.
5k, 5 loops on that course. Like honestly, it was.
Mate, I've done it. I've done it. It's the one race where there's always like some of the biggest groups of the whole year coming to the finish if it's mass starts.
Or maybe on the mass start, but I think on the mass start we did a different course. Like I don't know, 4k was 5 laps. It's a big uphill that you do 5 times. Like I agree on the 5k course, doing a 10k where you just go up that big hill twice is easy. But
if you compare it to Falun, if you compare it to Lahti, if you compare it to whatever course in Scandinavia, it doesn't compare, mate. It doesn't compare. There's so much double polling, so many flat double polling sections, so much draft, such a high speed. This is also, we didn't mention this, Gus's winning time on the 5k, 5 kilometers, 9 minutes, 35 seconds.
That's wild. 32k an hour. That's like a cycling speed.
Yeah, but that says enough over the profile of that course.
Yeah.
Because if you do that in Holmenkollen, you probably not be racing 9 minutes and 35 seconds.
But also, I suspect it might have been a bit less than 5k.
I saw on Strava, it was 4.88 for most people.
Okay.
So it's 120 meters.
Crazy.
But what's up with the rest of the Tour de Ski? Jimmy, you raced it, I just watched it, and I hated life because I wasn't racing it. So you tell us.
The best thing is the Tobias Unger comes to see me after each race. Oh, Jimmy, you're a fucking legend. And I'm like, yeah, Tobias Unger is my mate. So, so that was cool. But, I think was some cool races. First time up the hill, mate. And I managed to cuddle with Friedrich Mock in the stadium just before going up the hill, so it was good. Nice to be behind King of Trondheim and Argentinian Franco Del Faro before going up the hill. So,
mate, talking about Friedrich Mock, what happened to the guy?
I don't know. His brother has been better than him, actually.
Like, it's not long ago that he was literally one of the best skiers in the world.
Yeah.
And this year he just seems to struggle so much. I actually feel sorry for the guy. But I have not talked to him in like I don't know how long. Have you talked to him?
No. Well, I talked to him after the race to say like, oh yeah, why were you lying on the floor in the stadium? And I lay over you.
Yeah.
But other than that, no. I don't know. I feel like Katarina Hennig also has been having a bit of a quiet season. Like she has been one of the best classic skiers in the World Cup, and I feel like she's not been so amazing this year.
I was actually up with Matthias Deloche. He was not even competing. Was he also ill or?
I don't know, but I think he was like prioritizing Olympics a bit like you.
Yeah.
I have not actually
What did you
Ask
say?
him. He was
You just said a bit
prioritizing.
like you.
I said prioritizing Olympics a bit like you.
Mate, I
I
was not
didn't
fucking
say he was a.
prioritizing the Olympics.
I didn't
wanted
say
to
he
race
was
the
a little
fucking Tour de
bitch like
Ski.
you. I could have said that, but I didn't.
Yeah, but you're attacking me personally here and saying I didn't want to do the Tour de Ski. Mate, I fucking would have loved to do the Tour de Ski.
Yeah, but you felt like you were not 100% healthy, so you
Yeah, I was
prioritized
ill.
Olympics.
Okay, yeah, and
But in another,
yes.
like in another season, would you have done the Tour de Ski if there wasn't Olympics?
In a season without World Champs and Olympics, definitely. Because then it's like, okay, there's literally one goal. Otherwise, I don't know. I feel I've done the mistake of racing semi-ill quite a few times last year, and then I just got worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
And so now I just decided I don't think racing semi-ill is really worth it. So,
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah.
But actually, continuing on that. Forgot what I was gonna
continue
say.
on what? Right, okay, let's actually talk about Alp Jeremy's. You started on it already. This was the weirdest Alp Jeremy's I've ever watched in my entire life.
Yeah.
How, and I'm gonna say what the weirdest thing of all was.
Andrew
Not
Musgrave being
Matisse-
8th.
Not Andrew Musgrave being 8th, not Benji Moser being 20th, not Teresa Stadlober going from almost 30 seconds behind to being almost on the podium up the hill. It was Simon Hexter Kruger
Yeah.
being miles behind, then coming up to intermediate. I think it's 9.8. I'm a bit unsure. I think it was intermediate 9.8. Simon Hexter Kruger. There he is. He's 5th. I'm sitting in a car with my dad. I'm talking to my dad. Oh yeah, now he's coming. Now he's coming. It just took him a long time to get to the front, but now he's getting there. Not seeing Simon Hexter Kruger anymore. Coming to the finish 1 kilometer later, one relatively, for Alp Jeremy's terms, flat kilometer later. Simon Hexter Kruger comes in 28th or something, 30th.
Yeah.
How did he go from being somewhere down the pack up to 5th position a kilometer before the finish to being somewhere down the pack?
I mean,
What did you see that I did not see on television?
he did break a pole, I think, at a similar place to where I crashed. So going.
Yeah, but
out
that's in the stadium.
Yeah, but then
Yeah,
you
but that
in
does-
the
that does
super
not-
shit position. So like basically I started the climb like with at least 30 seconds behind everyone, and then you go up the climb and you have to go around people, and when it's so low speed, it takes fucking ages.
Yeah,
And then when you're in the switchbacks, you can't really go past like.
yeah.
So my guess is that he
Yeah,
used
that point
lots
I
of
get.
energy to go past people, and then got fucked. But I didn't watch the race, so I didn't know.
But you're not Simon Hexter Kruger, and you're getting quite close to actually being in a winning position. He was like, what, 20 seconds back at that time then, I think? So it's like, for him, that's very realistic to take against, like, Stenshagen did a fucking good job, but I do think that this was one of the slowest times ever in one of the fastest conditions ever. So that says a bit about the climb. So it just doesn't answer my question to what happened with Simon Kruger in the last kilometer up on the Alp Termis.
Yeah, should ask him. I think he's not quite as sharp as he used to be. But
It's so weird because in autumn, I remember everybody talking about Seaman, and then I remember reading all these articles on longrun.com and everywhere, like, oh yeah, Kruger, new best time in Holmenkollen, new course record in Holmenkollen, Simon Hexter Kruger. And this was like, I read this like a few times, that he was doing so good and smashing everybody in sessions and races, and then it just seems like he's, yeah, exactly like you say, not the Simon Kruger we knew.
Yeah. It's
Raises another question.
Yeah.
It raises another question, like, undoubtedly, undeniably, Simon Hexter Kruger is one of the greats of our generation.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, fuck it, I'll lean as far out of the window as saying the best pure distance skier of our generation.
Yeah. I can see
Are
that.
we witnessing the end of an era?
Maybe, yeah. That's tragic.
Hurts.
Yeah, we're getting old, mate. Getting old.
Also, this is gonna backfire so bad because it's probably gonna come to the next World Cup and beat us by minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But mate, are we done on the Tour de Ski or not?
I don't know. Is there anything you want to say?
I
Right, I'm
think,
gonna say I'm gonna say one thing again. Most valuable team, not player, but team.
yeah.
Team Austria. Fuck, they did such a
Yeah.
good job. It is unreal.
Canada being back on the World Cup, that was kind of a big thing as well.
Yeah, I
Mate,
thought they quit to exist.
What the fuck is Canada doing, mate? What the
I
fuck
don't
are
know.
they doing? So they do Olympic trials in December. For that reason, none of the Canadians got to do World Cups except for Catherine Stewart-Jones, who got pre-qualified. I don't know why she was the only one. I guess she was fourth in Tour de Ski last year, so maybe that. Then they do Olympic trials. They do a 10K skate, a 10K classic, until here, all good. And then they do a sprint skate for Olympic trials.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
Like, that's a bit weird. Okay. And you're like, okay, maybe they prioritize team sprint. Like, yeah, fair enough. Bit weird, but like, whatever. And then they don't select the girl that won the skate sprint
What?
at Olympic trials.
Wait, but I thought
Olivia-
that was the whole point of having Olympic trials, that you
Mate.
select the people that win.
Normally you select the winner of each race, but
Yeah.
not they selected for girls Olivia Bouchard-Nesbitt, I think her name is. She won the skate sprint, did not get selected to Olympics.
Talking about Olympic trials, because usually this is like a big thing in the US as well. Do the US cross country skiers have Olympic trials, or do they pick a team based on World Cup?
Right now, mate, it's so I was talking to the. It's actually a bit difficult for them because the ones that are doing well in World Cup get pre-selected.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are not doing good enough, then you should go back
What's
to
good
the
enough?
US. I don't know.
Okay.
But then you should go back to the US and race like nationals. And for
Yeah.
example, Elenia Sonneson, she came to Tour de Ski, raced one race, did worse than she was hoping for, went to the airport that same day and flew back to the US to do US nationals.
Oi,
That was wild.
that's wild. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wild.
And
Huh.
Hailey Swerble, she won the trials. I think it was today or yesterday. So she gets to go to Olympics.
Wait, Hailey Swerble.
She had retired 2 years ago.
I
Yeah,
was just gonna say she quit. No,
she retired and did a comeback and fucking won Olympic trials.
that's an exciting. You reckon she's gonna be good in the Olympics then?
I mean,
What's the level
Apparently,
there?
yes.
Because the best are obviously in World Cup. So what's the level on those?
I think it was Novi McCabe that was second. She's a super
Okay,
good
so it's
skier.
quite a. Yeah, I was just gonna say that's
Or,
quite
like,
a
she's-
respective level then.
Struggled sometimes, but like yeah, hard to tell. Like for example, the guy who won the classic race in Canada for the Olympic trials, he was behind me on the classic K in Tour de Ski.
And that says quite a bit.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, mate. Like I'm a fucking sprinter, and like if you get beaten by a sprinter, then yeah, not doing so great.
Nothing but
But-
love. I got nothing for love
Yeah.
for you, Jimmy.
Oh, talking about love, mate, you're gonna absolutely love this. Maybe you've read about it, but apparently in German media, they've had this whole case where apparently Nordic combined skiers, you know how they measure their like suits, and there's like rumors of people cheating by injecting something in their knobs to make it bigger, so making their dick bigger, so that they can have a bigger area around the groin and so have more air resistance.
Okay, I'm just asking for a friend. Where can we get this stuff? Like for this injection stuff? Where
I
is
was
it
gonna
available?
ask, is that why you stopped Nordic Combined, Mika? Because you
I
had
can't-
like really
you know
tight
what, I'll-
around the groin for you.
You know what? I'll tell you some inside stories of Nordic Combined back in the day. This is like some old ski jumping shit, and I have no idea how it is now. But so like when I first went to Alpen Cup, this is like the first international race you really get to do, and then it's like the first time that you actually have to like take all these standard measurements, because like, so just for context for people, you get like all these standard measurements, or you used to get that back in the day. I actually have no idea what's going on in ski jumping right now these days. But you used to get like your body height measured, and then like your crotch you got measured, like how long your legs are and stuff for the suit, because like the lower your crotch is, the more
Air resistance.
the more
you get.
air resistance you get, because your suit can be bigger then. And then there's like all these parts like shoulders, over your shoulders, under your armpits. Your crotch is like the most important part there actually. And then so you have all these standard measurements, and they're being used all season then. And all the suits you have, they need to fit to those measurements. And so first time when I went to do these measurements, then before, like some of the older guys were coming, and they were like, oh yeah, it's very important to tape your cock back. Because when you tape your cock back, your crotch is like 1 or 2 centimeters like lower.
Yeah.
And so then you're wearing underwear. I did read somewhere or hear somewhere that I don't think you wear anything anymore. I think you have to be naked now or something.
No way.
I'm not sure. This might be complete false information.
That would be fucking weird.
Yeah, but like people used to cheat like a fuck ton. Just think like, you know, this Play-Doh, like this plaster shit.
Yeah.
If you have underwear, just like put a fuck ton of that in your crotch, and your crotch will be 5 centimeters.
Yeah, crazy.
See, and like 5 centimeters of a lower crotch, like a cross-country skier's mind cannot comprehend how big the difference in drag is on a jumping suit then.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's unreal. It's like, just for fun, next time you watch cross-country, a ski jumping competition, so when they put on their skis, just see how controlled they move when they put on their skis to like make sure that the suit stays in place and that it doesn't go somewhere else. And then after they land, when they do like the snow plow, just look at their crotches and then ask yourself, is it realistic that they have the crotch up their actual crotch?
Yeah, it looks a bit like they've got their pants like halfway down the knees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's always been stuff like this going on in ski jumping and Nordic combined. And like I said, I'm so far away from this whole thing, and I'm actually happy that I am. What pisses me actually off a bit is like the differences are super big there. And also with like this whole Norwegian suit scandal last year.
Yeah.
Like you're actually manipulating quite a bit. So like I'm talking about multiple. Yeah, and I'm talking about you can win or lose multiple meters by having a different suit or different skis or whatever. And then it's definitely comparable. It's definitely comparable with doping.
Yeah.
Look at Victoria Karl. She's not going to do anything. She made a mistake, but it's the rules and we follow the rules. And I think it's fair that she gets banned. And then you look at ski jumping. It's like, oh, well, you get to try again tomorrow. You just try to cheat everybody, but it's not so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually nuts. You just get disqualified. Oh, yeah, like, don't do it again. But, yeah that's actually wild. That's true.
But I think now they have a new system in charge with, like, some yellow cards. And I don't know, if you get, like, disqualified once, you get a yellow card, and you get banned for multiple races if you get a red card. I don't know, but I mean, to be honest, if you get caught cheating, you should be banned for like a period of time. There should not be cards. You've cheated, and I can tell you this, and I'll tell you this with 100% certainty. Everybody that gets disqualified in ski jumping or Nordic combined cheats willingly.
Yeah.
And they all justify it by saying, oh yeah, but everybody does it.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's wild. But anyway, moral of the story, don't inject your dick with some weird things to make your knob bigger.
Also, I'm going to get so much hate from some Nordic combiners and ski jumpers for saying this, but it's just what it is. It's
like... fair enough, mate, fair enough. But yeah, you might do it to look like you've got a bigger knob on races in your race suit. That could help.
But that's why I was asking for a friend about this whole injection thing.
So if you watch the races at the Olympics and you're like, why has a Mika got a banana in his pocket? Then you know that it's not a banana.
Yeah, exactly.
just,
Also, but I feel, because I did just say that everybody that gets disqualified cheats willingly, I feel I need to specify it a bit further in when it's about like ski jumping suits or material or stuff. When you have a cold, Jimmy,
Yeah.
you look up all the medicaments that you take, all the
Yeah.
medicine, because you'd rather be, if you have something and you don't find it on the WADA app, you'll not use it because you're like, it's not worth it. So you'd rather be 10% on the safe side than 1% on the sorry side.
Yeah, for sure.
And when it comes to like these ski jumping suits and stuff, they are like on the 0.0% sorry side, and then rather a bit on the sorry side than on the safe side. There's like no safety margin in there. It's like, oh yeah, we go to the absolute limit and we'll probably get fucked at some point, but we'll just take that into account.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. But mate, we've been blabbing for some good time now.
Yeah.
And I think it was a fun podcast. At least I had fun.
Me too. It's good talking to you again, Jamie. It's been way too long.
Yeah, mate. It's been a while. I hope everybody listening to this podcast enjoys having the iconic duo back on the podcast.
Yeah, I hope they don't miss Muzzy too much, because I actually do miss Muzzy a bit when I'm going to listen to this podcast tomorrow.
Yeah. Right. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to like and subscribe. And this is your #1 Nordic podcast. Over and out. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Serious problems.